So, hi everyone, welcome to the White Label Marketplace breakout session. My name is Jennifer Solomon, and I'm on the global CMP team. So, hopefully, you've enjoyed your lunch and are ready to take this all in. And if maybe just by a show of hands, how many of you have heard of White Label Marketplace, and that's why you picked the session? Okay, great, that's great. So, and this is Christian Jones. He works with me on the same team, and you can pull up our agenda here. So this is a working session, and what that means is that we've invited, all of you to bring your laptop if you have it, so that we can be really hands-on with you and show you just how easily it is to deploy White Label Marketplace. So we're going to give you a little general overview about the importance of branding, the benefits of it. We can answer some questions, and then we will go right into setting up your White Label Marketplace and just kind of a general walkthrough of the configuration. Okay? And I think we're a small enough room, so if you have any questions, just raise your hand and we'll make this as engaging as possible. Okay? Yes, please.
Our services in the marketplace and learning about what other vendors are out there that we can use in Lightning.
So I'll go right into the general overview and they'll answer that question. Okay, so the question was, White Label Marketplace, are we talking about putting your vendors, whether you're a vendor or a partner, your services on the marketplace, or what is this exactly? So we'll get right into that. Go to the next one. So why is branding important? You all know of our CMP, the cloud marketplace, okay? What White Label Marketplace is that we allow you to use the full capacity of CMP and put your company name on it, okay? So it's just white labeling. So for example, if it was Jennifer IT, it would be the exact cloud marketplace, but when you go to my URL, it would say Jennifer IT on the top. So it's basically allowing you to brand and let your end users provision for themselves. And why is that important? Branding. It helps strengthen your brand. And we'll go to the next slide here. The importance of better brand recognition so that your partners and your end users are not just seeing Ingram Micro Cloud marketplace. You can show them your brand in and of itself. Any questions about that piece? No? Okay, great. So branding obviously builds trust, and it'll help your partners really understand all of your capabilities and the strengths that you bring by partnering with Ingram Micro. And it helps create loyal customers. They get more used to seeing your name, not just that you're able to supply them everything that's on the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace, but that they associate it with your brand. And what's really exciting about that is, as we've heard in a lot of the sessions and the speakers, there's constantly a conversation about wide distribution, right? And it's a little bit of preaching to the choir, because obviously you're here believing in distribution. Well, this is something that you cannot get direct, okay? This is what we're helping to bring to the table, and it's really exciting, the fact that we can offer this for free. So you're taking our cloud marketplace, putting your own brand on it, and then helping to continue to build your brand recognition. And it allows you to stand out against your competition, because not all distributors have this capability. And it's something that we're very proud of and very excited to share more and more with our partners, and looking forward to seeing a nice ramp up of more partners choosing to deploy their own white label marketplace. And it also helps motivate your staff. A little bit more excitement behind working for your company and seeing everything that you have to offer. So any questions on that piece there, and the branding and kind of the importance behind utilizing your company name versus just Ingram Micro Cloud? No? Okay. So I'll turn this over to Christian, and he's going to talk a little bit about what is White Label Marketplace.
Thanks, Jen. Hey, everyone. So, White Label Marketplace, really, it's just going to be a free software provided by us, Ingram Micro. And what that's going to be able to do, it's going to really help enable you all to sell a little bit better as well as faster. So it's going to allow your end customers to go and search for the products they want, increase, decrease the licenses as needed based off the vendor, as well as it's going to allow you to essentially reallocate your time. So we all know time is money, and if you can go out there, complete other sales with other companies perhaps or other customers and get them, then this white label marketplace is going to be great for you because you will be able to allow your customers go in here, and instead of you going in maybe a few times a day, and even though it's only a few times a day, those minutes add up. Now, with building your brand as well, that is going to be very important. We all know brand is even just more for a single person coming on up. If you look on social media nowadays, a individual is building their own brand. They are getting sponsorships from companies and getting other followers. So with this, with the brand, you are going to essentially get your name out there, and perhaps even just word of mouth within the end customers. It's going to travel within the regions that you are reselling, and maybe it's going to allow you to get them more end customers by providing you the ease of, or providing them the ease of access to purchase those licenses, as well as it's a value add-on. So with all that, the building of the brand, not all resellers are going to essentially allow their end customers to go in and purchase. And with the white label marketplace that you're going to see in a little bit, you don't have to provide it to all your end customers. So if you want to select and pick and choose which customers have access to it, you can. So with going back to that free software, you can use it however you decide. So that is up to you, and it's instilling the trust. So when you do provide the white label marketplace to your end customers, it's going to let them know, hey, they trust me to go in and buy their licenses, buy my licenses as needed. I don't need to contact them. I can decide to just go in maybe at 12 o'clock in the morning. I hope I'm not up at 12 o'clock in the morning buying licenses, but I'm sure that you may have been there at some point, and the end customer can go in there and buy those licenses instead of yourself. So it's really going to instill that trust and really just the fast and easy setup that we do have. So it's only going to take a matter of a few minutes to set up the white label marketplace. It's not that complicated. That's why we're all here. And if you have your laptop, I'd be more than happy to go around and show you setting it up. But also, we're going to show you here for that. So, click. So, as I mentioned, the setup made easy is for just 3 steps. Logging into the cloud marketplace, navigate to the sales channel feature, left-hand column, as well as really just pressing configure. So these 3 easy steps I'm about to show you, and we can go right through it there. But before we go into the setup, I just want to ask, is there any questions for the white label marketplace or branding before we go into the entire setup process?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. So it would be for let's say, I'm just going to use an example here just because it's coming to mind. I have my phone with T-Mobile. Let's say T-Mobile was buying licenses and I'm their end customer and they provide me access to the white label marketplace. I can then go in there, being their customer, to buy the licenses. So similar to if I'm going into their portal to buy a phone, same premise.
And may I ask, sir, which company are you with? Is MSP? SAS. Okay. So yes. So basically, it is the cloud marketplace, the Ingram Micro cloud marketplace, exactly as you're currently using it, with all of our partners and vendors and licenses that you can provision, just as it is in cloud marketplace. However, now instead of and when Christian shares, maybe show your screen, the first screenshot, and it'll help kind of bring it home when you see it. It's just putting your logo on it instead. So then, for example, your customer, let's say you're an MSP, and instead of your customers, they have to send an email and say, hey, I want this many, Microsoft licenses. Your end customer can actually go onto your website and provision themselves. You can have that option. So you can really decide how much you want to open it up as well, and we'll explain that. Any other questions? Yes. I'll repeat the question. So the question is, can you make a selection on which licenses can they buy? I believe at this time, yes? Christian? Yes. Yes. You cannot change the pricing, okay? So you cannot change the pricing. The pricing will still be exactly as it is on the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace. And you cannot do any custom bundling, but you can decide which licenses. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Any other questions? Welcome. We have some. Yes. Clarification on not being able to change the pricing? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can show you that over here. You do have the option to change the prices. What you'd be able to do is if you are not, let's say you have an end customer and you want to adjust their prices because in order to win their business, you need to lower the price. You do have that option through the white label marketplace. It is going to be part of the branding feature, as we call it, but branding and white label marketplace, they work best hand in hand. So we do encourage the branding on top of the white label marketplace. Yep. Cool. So any other questions? All right. So I did go ahead and share my screen over here. And what we are looking at is a branded, as Jen mentioned, it's going to look very similar to our own marketplace itself, but this is the branded option. This is what we have. So we just made a company called Cloud Computing. I have credentials. I can log in. And I am going to, it's a little hidden up there, so I apologize. Go back to this one. Yes, that's what I need. Cool. So this is our marketplace here. And to set up that white label marketplace, as I mentioned, for the 3 easy steps, you would just log in. And there is going to be the sales channel feature here at the very, not the very bottom, but about the middle left column. And you can go ahead and press that. And from here, it is going to be within the end customer marketplace that you're going to go ahead to configure it. And this is where you're also going to be able to select the products that are going to become available to your end customer so you can make visible, invisible, as well as preview the home page. So I already do have this turned on. When you do log into here, and if you don't have this configured, the radio option would say off. So you just configure that to on, and then you would just come down here to the configure option to select a few of the default options available for the end customer. And by some of those options, it's really going to be, all right, the end customer logs in. Do you want them to go into the dashboard? Do you want them to go into the actual marketplace to begin looking for the services that they can go ahead and begin purchasing for?
The internet's taking its time.
Yes. All right. So as I mentioned, this is where you can choose the default options available, dashboard, marketplace, and then you can choose these options for if you want to allow for yourself to configure for your own end customer, which you most likely do, which is why we're here. And then once you're good to go here, you can then scroll down here. You can change the appearance of the marketplace tile if you would like. So right now it is blue. The verbiage is marketplace, all services here, and browse. But if you want to go ahead and change that, you can. So this will be up to you based off what you want your end customers to go ahead and click. And what you do have here for the coloring, you can choose some of the default options when it's going to pull up here, or you can use the hex codes. So right here, you can change the color tile. You can use the use the brand color. So if you do have a brand and you already have that color template or the skin implemented, you'd be able to just choose that. You can choose a background image. So if you just want plain coloring, you can, or maybe you want to have a vendor logo or just a fun logo that you think would be beneficial for the marketplace, you can go ahead and do so. But back here again, this is where you can create promotions. So the promotions I think are pretty cool and unique because this is where you'd be able to go ahead and essentially create products that are maybe new to your company that you're selling, or maybe just new overall, and you want to get that in front of the end customer where that they can go ahead and press that tile to again then go to that page itself. So if we scroll down here to the content, we have 4 promotions currently. You can go ahead and manage those promotions, and they're going to be in a crawler as well, but these are our promotions we currently have created. But you can edit it over here as well, and you can add more services. So if you want to add more products, just go ahead, add more services, and then you can choose that product that's going to become visible. So you can search, you can go to the next page, or if the product is already here, you can go ahead and select it. So let's just choose this one here so I can show you. You can go ahead, press that tile, see the all services. For the descriptions, one thing I recommend is to just shorten it up a little bit, because obviously that's a lot of wording. And customers, for the most part, probably don't want to see all those words there. I know when I'm shopping, I just like to have a brief description. So that's probably going to be the best bet for you both. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this. And for our purpose here, anyone want to put a description in? Anyone have a good description for the AvePoint Cloud Management that they want to use? Miami Heat? All right, we will use that.
Yes.
All right. And then you can put a promo price in. So if you want to be a little greedy, I guess, the default was, I think it was 13 I saw there. We'll just do $40 for this over here. And then you can choose the button label. So if you want to use press here, you can. And then you can change the appearance again. So you can change your color tile as well as the icon if you like. So yeah, we can go ahead and just change this tile just so we can see. We'll use this blue. I think that's close to the Miami colors that we're using right now. And then we can go ahead and press. And then we can go ahead and press add. So you'll be able to see it down over here. And when we do log into the end customer marketplace, you'll be able to see this tile too. And you can also see it within the preview. So if you go to the home page, this is where you're going to be able to see those previews. So if I go to all services, or sorry, scroll down over here. If I just press that next option, we'll be able to see that tile that we just created over there. And then this is also going to be visible for the end customer. Now up here is the banner. We do have banners within the Go-to-Market Hub that you'll be able to use. We have the banner sizes for you to see. One thing that I do find very important to include in here is, let's say you have a business outing or you're doing something that is, I would say, very personable for your end customers. I always encourage through the banners to include something there, so it's not obviously just going to be products that are going to be made available. So when the customer logs into your branded site here, they can see that, hey, you guys are a company as well. You're going out and doing some fun things, but you also want to be able to obviously purchase those products.
Let's say you're promoting a lunch and learn, or something like that you would like your end users to attend. You can make it something even like that. It doesn't have to be just specifically, AvePoint or Dropbox. It's very customizable, and that's really the beauty behind strengthening your brand, being able to pick the colors of your logo and to name it properly and appeal to your customers as best as you see fit. Do you have any questions about this before we go further into the demo? It's really exciting. It really, really is exciting when you get in there and you start to see how easy it is to configure a platform of this size, right? With all of the capabilities behind it. And then we're allowing our partners to use it for free and brand it in your own way. It is a very, very exciting capability. So I'll let you get them more jazzed up. Yes.
Yeah. So what I've noticed when I'm helping partners set up their white label marketplace is that if they are allowing their end customers access, they're also allowing them access to their entire catalog. So if it's a product that you support, obviously they're going to, for the most part, they're going to be including it. One thing I do recommend is that if there's a product that you do not support, make it invisible because you don't want an end customer coming over you. They buy the licenses through you, and then let's say they run into a snag, and then you can't support it. That's a poor customer experience. So that's something that we don't want there. But if you do sell Adobe, as you mentioned, on top of Office 365, then yes, I do see a lot of partners providing that option as well. You're welcome.
There's another question.
Yep. Yeah. So the external store, that is going to be a feature coming down the road. It is on the roadmap, which is why it is showing available there. But right now, it is just the internal branding of the white label marketplace there. But that's a good eye over there. And what you'll be able to do, just so you'll see, is when it does come, is that you'll be able to then just press that checkbox, and then it'll be able to go to the external store through there.
No, please.
Yeah, so I do. So it's gonna be the domain that you've created that you'll also be inputting into the branding site through here. So it's just gonna allow for customers that are not created within the cloud marketplace be able to traffic there. Cool.
So they don't necessarily have to be one of your existing end users. You can just be driving. Bring
Yep.
them in. Bring them in. Yes.
Yeah, so this is definitely a good stepping stone for that because when that feature does come out, you already have everything set up. So then all you need to do is essentially just turn the switch, and then you can start getting the end customers coming that way. Cool. So coming over here is the service plan. So to the question sort of in the back regarding the service plans that are going to be made available, this is where you would be able to turn on, turn off those products. And it's going to be quite easy to do. All you need to do is scroll over here with the mouse to the right side, find the eye with the slash through it, and now you can make that product invisible. So you'll be able to continually do that and limit the products that are going to be visible for your end customer. And you can also go to the pages, so you can get as granular as the service pages, or you can come down here to the pages, service plans. Then you can come down here to the pages, and let's say that you don't sell any NCE perpetual nonprofit. So you just want to go ahead and press the other slash through it, and now this page, all the products within that are going to be made invisible for your end customer. They cannot see it, they cannot purchase it there. Now, when you do set up the white label marketplace, and let's say you go ahead and create your brand, so you are going to want a customized skin. You'd be able to work with us. We can create that customized skin for you and then embed it into the site. So going back to here, apologize. Yes. Oh, all right, perfect. I'm good at clicking randomly. All right, so over here, as I mentioned, this is our made-up company, Cloud Computing, and we had the credentials. Now, these credentials are end customer credentials, so this is what you'd be, when you create a customer, this is what you'd provide them, and then they'd be able to log in. So if I go ahead, press sign in, it's going to take me directly to the end customer marketplace. And this is what they will be able to see. So similar to the Ingram Micro site over here, where we have Ingram Micro Cloud, and back over here you have the different company logos. You can see the feel is very similar through the tiles on the left-hand side, which you can also limit. So based off the products they purchase, they're going to have Microsoft NCE if they have Azure, NCE, they'd be able to have it over there, and any of the products that they do purchase through you would be visible there where they can manage those products. And if they want to go ahead, buy them, go ahead to the marketplace. So if you are currently the ones going into the marketplace purchasing, it's going to be the exact same marketplace feel. So if they have questions regarding the marketplace, hey, I can't find a product, you would be able to help support them there. So it's not anything different. All it is, you have a different color, you have your company logo within it, and then they'd be able to come and buy those licenses. They also have the quotes here. So if you are quoting your end customers through some external software, but you want to create the quotes directly within the marketplace, so ease of purchase, you can. So when they are ready to go ahead and purchase the licenses that you've been in discussion with for a while, they'd be able to go ahead and press that star icon to find those quotes, and then simply go to order checkout there. It's going to be this white label marketplace makes it very easy for them to go ahead and purchase. So they would just be able to press place order, and then it brings them through that purchasing process. So any of the end customer credentials that they need to input for the specific vendors, they would input here. Yep. Yep. So they'd be able to adjust quantities. So let's say that you were discussing maybe 10 quantity, but later on that they want to go ahead and actually buy 15 of it, they'd be able to adjust it there. It's just going to save what was saved quantity-wise at that time, but it brings them to step one of that purchase process, just as any normal order if I was just going to include it into the shopping cart at that time. All right, so over here to the users too, if they wanted to go ahead and create new users for the company. So if they know that, hey, I just hired someone else, they're going to be my purchasing individual within the company, they can go ahead, create that user, and then they gain access so that, once again, don't need to contact you for creating something that's going to maybe take, albeit probably 5 minutes, but still allows you to reallocate your time for perhaps completing other deals. So from what we see over here from the white labeled and as well as the branded site, is there any questions you have regarding this? Because you might be currently the ones in the marketplace now. You might be familiar with the marketplace, so it's going to work very similar to what you have from your reseller control panel. Is there any questions you have about the features? Yep. Yep. So I just want to make sure I understood the question correctly. You're just saying that if an end customer comes in here and maybe they meant to buy 10 licenses and they accidentally order 100, what you can be? Mm-hmm. Yep. So for that there, you would be able to work with Ingram Micro regarding that. Now, obviously, each product has that acceptable cancellation time frame there. So hopefully you'd be able to catch it by then. But what we are being able to have, and what we have through a feature through the Ideas portal, is to allow the essentially you, the reseller, to press accept on all the ones that come through. So that feature is going to be coming, and that's going to be something that is going to be very helpful. Yep.
Yes, we have another question.
Yep. Yes, you can. That's one of the more common ones that I do see, because you, being the reseller, you're the one invoicing the end customer, so you don't want to perhaps cause any confusion where that they're going to come in here, they're going to think, hey, I can come into the marketplace, I can pay my invoice. So that is one that is hidden, so that you can obviously send the invoices out however you do currently. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so through our Marketplace API, you'll be able to create users for that there. Now, you won't be able to delete the users, but you'll be able to disable them where they cannot do any purchasing. Yes. Yep. So you'd be able to get notifications when users are created. What we do have through the notification templates is that by default, it is going to be going to the customer's contact on file. However, there is a BCC option that we do recommend. If you also want to be receiving those notifications, you input it there so that obviously the customer receives it, but you're also receiving notification. Yep. Cool. So I'm going to go back here to, actually, I'm going to go over here to the theme creator. Apologize. I'll just do this. Always trying to send me in. Okay.
Any other questions while we get to the next part? So yes, there will be some, back-end work, tracking, possibility for some, small errors, but the goal here is to really help our partners, our Ingram Micro Cloud partners, scale, right? And this is a great way to grow your business, expand your business, and you can start as small as you'd like. So you don't have to deploy everything. Let's say, for example, you only want to use it for like the simplest licenses that you do the most business with. You can choose to do it like that. And then once your team starts to familiarize themselves, once your end users, get familiar as well, you can expand from there. Any questions? Okay.
So as I mentioned, you do have the option to create a customized skin. Now, this is something that we will be able to help create for you. What we will be providing over to you is an Excel file that's going to look very similar to this, actually the exact same. And you just provide us the hex codes, and then we can go ahead and include it here. And once we do create the file, obviously we can see it going through here. So if you want to be on the phone, maybe with your Ingram representative to go through this here, or maybe you just want to have them create it and send you a few screenshots ahead of time for approval for us to include it, we can. But as you see, we just include the hex codes through here, and then immediately it updates, and we can then go ahead and create it. So between the between the white label marketplace and the customized skin, if you have maybe about 20 minutes to 30 minutes of time a day, you can go ahead and create this and then allow your end customers the ability to go ahead and begin purchasing immediately. Now, I do want to show you additionally, so back through here and through our classic panel. So to your question earlier on about the domains, and you want to have that external domain or the customized domain based off your company name, you can go ahead and include it here through our classic panel. And then come over here to domains. And then you'll be able just to add the registered domain elsewhere. So this will be able to go ahead and do it. And what we do also include through our knowledge base. Next one here is we do have a starter guide for branding and customer enablement. So I do have a PDF as well if you want me to include that through some of the collateral, but this is all broken out here through here, and then you can see additionally where that you can start hiding some of those tiles. So to your question as well about hiding the invoices, we provide you that documentation here. So this is about 86 pages worth, so just a little bit light reading if you want to just go through here occasionally, but you can see all the tiles you can hide. If there is something here that you cannot see, reach out to us. We'll be able to help you, but you can also add the SSL cert. That is one thing, obviously, we do encourage that if you are creating the domain, because you want to make sure that it is obviously secure, your end customer is not going to probably want to go to a domain that says unsecure, and then they got to go to the advanced options to log in. So we provide you that option too. And tells you to select a skin, we will upload that for you. And typically, when the skin has been created, we just select it for you, so you don't need to go through that step. And if you have questions regarding the white label marketplace, we do have documentation through the knowledge base too about how to activate and configure white label marketplace. So similar to what I just walked you through today, this is where you'd be able to see that, and also just enable some of the features yourself. So obviously, if you need additional information down the road, if this is something that you're like, hey, Christian and Jen mentioned that, I'm not quite sure exactly how to go about that again, we have the documentation here. So through the classic panel, if I go back here, and through the billing, so to the earlier question about creating customized pricing, this is where you'll be able to go ahead and provide that pricing. You just be able to come down here to the marketing option, and then create product groups. So the product groups would be maybe you have an Office 365 product group, maybe you have a Google product group, whatever the vendor might be, you can include it there, and then you can also then create the discount, and you can see that we have created a few discounts here that you'd be able to through our test purposes, but you'll be able to go ahead and create your discounts. So we have the name for 14% off MSRP. If you want to include that product group there, and you can include a product group through multiple discounts, so you're not needing to recreate it there. You just need to create multiple discounts and then apply that product group for it. All right. So, are there any questions regarding some of the pricing?
Yes. So thankfully, now that we've scanned all your badges, make sure, hopefully everyone who came in scanned their badge. We'll send an email to you with links to everything that we've shared here as well. So you'll have that in your email. Yes, absolutely. And then we'll include Christian and myself, our contact information, and then we can make sure that you get in touch with the right person for your account to start looking into it. But I would really highly suggest that you start familiarizing yourself with those documents, the KB articles that we're going to share with you, and then when you meet with your PSM, like someone from the partner success team, then you can just kind of baby steps into it.
Yeah, and question for you all too: how many customers of yours have already maybe expressed interest of just wanting to purchase themselves? All right, we got a few. And are you currently perhaps going to allow more end customers, or is it just because that you had this one end customer that you're now exploring this, or is this something that you have already considered? Just the one so far? Perfect. So I'm sorry, what's that? Yep, and this is going to be great for that there. So whether that be all the end customers, this free software we have available for you is going to be perfect for that. Just because it doesn't matter how large you might be, how many customers you have, it's just that value add-on you can provide to them. And as you saw, I could set it up in a few minutes there. Did anyone think going through the setup process of just pressing configure, log in, does anyone have 30 minutes a day you think that you could spare to set it up? I know we're all busy, but I think 30 minutes is pretty quick to set up anything nowadays, especially configuring something that your end customers can go ahead and then immediately start purchasing. Yep. Yeah, so to the notifications part, that's where I'm going to go back to. That's one thing I do recommend and encourage, whether that be NCE or any other vendor itself, is that you put yourself as a BCC there. So you could allow your end customers to receive notifications. If you don't want to, then you just input your email there. So if I were to come down here to our customers tab and get a few pop-ups. And come down here to the customers again. So these emails here, these emails are going to be the ones receiving those notifications. So if you don't want your end customers to receive notifications, only yourself, you'd want to include typically a shared email box so you receive it. So when an order is placed, you get that email, and then you can be like, okay, I see it. And then you can just see it come across your screen. And if you notice something that's not terribly out of the ordinary, so if it's not 1,000 licenses, maybe it's 17, then it's nothing to be concerned about, but it gives you that notification ahead of time. And then you could contact the customer and ask them, hey, did you mean to buy 50 licenses for this? To make sure it's within that window. Yep. Yep. So you can't put a limit onto the number with their purchases. So that's part of the reason why I do recommend for the notification part, so that you're always in the loop for that, where it's whether it be on your phone or if you're at your laptop and you see that email come through, and it's to that shared email box, so it's not going directly to your personal email box, sort of muddying it up there. You can always go back to it and see what's going through there. Yep. So we got 4 minutes left here. Is there any other questions? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would. So once again, as long as their email address is listed in the customers tab, they're going to receive that notification. Yep. And then through the classic panel, and we have the notification templates. So these are all the templates that we already have created. You can create customized templates if you would like to. So if you want to create a customized template for branding purposes or change up some of the verbiage, this is where you can go ahead to change that up. But this is where you can go ahead, and then I'm just going to choose this one just because it's right in front of me here. But if I can go ahead and press that template, and then I go and edit. They're all going to have the BCC address here. So as you can see by default is the domain owner for this particular notification here. And if you want to receive this notification, just input a shared email address. That's just one thing I always recommend is shared email addresses if you're inputting something here, just because if you're putting your personal one in, you might get a lot of them. And we all know you're busy. You don't want to muddy up that inbox more.
So creating a dedicated email address to put in the BCC will help with the tracking and the oversight.
Might be a bit detailed, but some security products require that it's the customer email address as part of the validation process. So the ability to apply rules on what the customer can and can't do in that email.
So are you referring to the email address where I was in the customers tab there? Yeah. So if you're buying licenses or buying vendors or products that have those specific ones, then you're going to want to include the customer address there just to ensure that you're not missing out any of that. And then through the template, put your address there for that. Yep. And that's also a good conversation too, just to make sure you're setting the expectation with your end customer. Let them know, hey, you have your email address listed here. You're going to be receiving notifications for this. No problem.
This is great. A lot of great questions. So we have just a few more minutes, and then Christian will be here available as well to answer any other ones. But before we close out.
Yeah.
The language to Dutch.
So you do have the option to change languages, yes, and that would be based off that can be based off the regions as well. So if you have Dutch, yep, you'd be able to do that.
So the same languages that we have for Cloud Marketplace. Pardon me?
Can you please repeat that?
Can you add a custom?
Yep. So are you saying that you yourself have a product that you want to include, or maybe you have your own service that you want to include there for? Mm-hmm. Yep. So through this white label marketplace here, you would not be able to include your own service or a product that's not currently available in the marketplace. Only what is on our product inventory would be available for the limitation or availability for your customers. Yep. All right. So, went through here. As Jen mentioned, we will be providing you collateral at the conclusion of Cloud Summit. We do thank you all for attending. If you do have any questions, feel free. I'll be out there in the hallway. You can ask me. And through the email as well, I will also be providing our contact information. Yep. Thank you.